welcome to this edition of the BRSN Insider. I'm sitting down with women's basketball coach Chad Folsom. Coach, thank you for joining us.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Guys, get your season underway in the next week. Talk about how the preseason's gone so far.
It's gone well. Our team's been working hard. We started October 2nd with practice, and we got 6 new players and 8 returners. So it's been a learning experience for several, but I think they're all picking up things very, very quickly, and we're excited to get things started next week.
You said you had 8 returners. Talk about the people you bring back, including 2 All-Americans and Kristen Murphy and Serena Parker.
Right. Yep. This is the first time since I've been here in 17 years that we've actually had 2 All-Americans returning from last year's team. So we have Kristen Murphy as a wing player. She was a first-team All-Conference and second-team All-American last year, and our leading scorer, and definitely can score all over the floor. A very, very versatile player that can shoot the three and pull up as well as post up and drive the basket. And being left-handed, she really causes trouble for the other team, and we're expecting her to do that again for us this year. Serena Parker, our post player from last year, she's a returning junior, and she was first-team All-Conference and honorable mention All-American. And I think she's really, both players have gotten a lot better even from last year, but Serena's an inside player that very physical and scores well around the basket and rebounds well, blocks shots. I think last year she really stepped up as one of the top posts in the league, and we're hoping that she'll continue that trend this year. You want to know about other ones that we got? We can tell you about the other ones we've got. Some of our other power forwards, centers, forwards are all returning. So we've got Kayla Staley back as a returning post player. We have Lexi Vegas and Sage Ballman returning power forwards. We have Rachel Baumgartner returning small forward. We have 2 players returning off injuries. We've got Jordan Foster returning as a shooting guard, and we have Miranda Thomas returning as a point guard. So it's our returning squad.
And you brought in 6 new players. Talk about some of the players that could come in and make an impact.
We've got 5 freshmen and 1 sophomore transfer. They're all very, very good, and what's exciting is they're all picking things up quickly and moving well. Our sophomore transfer, Grace Brzozowski, comes to us from Northern Oklahoma Junior College, and is a shooting guard, wing player, good scorer, good shooter, and very fundamentally sound, and we're expecting her to be able to score for us on the wing. Brian Mall is a point guard, the freshman that's coming up from Bishop Carroll High School in Wichita. She was first-team All-City last year in Wichita and one of the top players in 5A. And she's done a great job at picking up the offense and doing well at running the point, and we're expecting her to give us great things there too. Sam Brennan is another guard wing that's from Cape Girardeau, Missouri. And she's a very athletic wing player that can also shoot, drive, and good scorer and rebounder, and has a lot of quickness. So those gals have been really stepping up here, but we also have a 6'2" post player, Natalie Samarin, from Minnesota, big-time rebounder, and is really getting used to what we're doing here, but is also going to be a good player here, as well as Jane Pennefather, a point guard from Virginia, who's also doing things well and really coming along, as well as our last freshman, Mackenzie Funston, is a shooting guard from Abilene, Kansas, and can really shoot the ball. So we're excited about all of them.
So what can fans look forward to from your team this year?
Well, I think one thing you can tell, we got a lot of depth, and I think that's going to be a big advantage for us this year. Last year we dealt with a lot of injuries, and so I think this year with our depth, hopefully we stay injury-free, but we've got a lot of depth and the ability to hopefully wear teams down. Also allow us to play fast and get up and down the court, which we want to do. And also, of course, play pressure defense. We want to get after people with our defense and cause turnovers, and having a lot of depth allows us to keep that intensity level high and continue to try to wear the other team out.
Conference poll came out on Tuesday. Got picked to win the conference, starting out number 9 in the country. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's exciting. It says a lot about the team we have, and the respect from the league as well as the country. But I always say that where you are at the beginning is not what matters; it's where you are at the end. But I do think that we have a great team, and the stakes, the pressure is up, maybe, so to speak. But I think this team has the ability to do something really special this year, and we're excited to get that going. One thing though this year is we play a tough non-conference schedule, and we're 9th in the country, but we play 5 nationally ranked teams here in the first month of the year, so we'll really see where we are right away.
And then conference going to a North and a South division this year, first time it's been done. What are your thoughts on that?
It's going to. I just think it was an experiment. I mean, we've changed the schedule around a lot over the last few years when we've added teams, and played everybody twice last year. 26 conference games this year, 19 conference games. We're only going to play the South. We'll play the South twice. We'll play the North once. We'll just have to see how things play out. And I always say all we can do is take care of Benedictine and do things well on our side of thing, and we'll see how things fall. And then next year we're going back to playing everybody twice again. So we lose Avila from the league, and we'll be back to 24 conference games. So we'll just roll with it and play Benedictine basketball.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much for joining us. Benedictine College women's basketball coach Chad Folsom on the BRSN Insider.
A wise man once said, "The world offers you comfort, but you were not made for comfort. You were made for greatness." Discover what you were made for. Benedictine College, where greatness begins.
Back on the BRSN Insider, I'm sitting down with head men's basketball coach Ryan Moody. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Dakota, thanks for having me.
You guys get your season underway next Wednesday. How's the preseason gone so far?
I think it's gone good. We started right when the guys got back with preseason conditioning, individual workouts, weights, that kind of thing, and kind of getting back into the swing of things. And then officially practice starts right around October 1. We're, about 3 weeks in? We're fairly healthy. That's a big quote-unquote fairly healthy. And, we've had to incorporate 7 new guys into some returners that have kind of know the drill. And that's been probably the biggest challenge, is just getting guys familiar with terminology, drills, scheme, philosophy, and I think that the new guys have really done a great job of working hard to get to know it and to get going on that. So I've been really happy with this, with our effort and everything else up to this point.
Bring a good mix of returners and guys that you brought in. Talk about the guys that you brought back this year.
Well, the guys we brought back, there's a bunch of them. I think we had 10 or 11 that are coming back, and I'll start kind of with the guys that played the most, right? The guys that are going to bring us heart of Athletic America conference minutes, and that's Adam Cutney, Thomas O'Connor, and Christian Hatterley. Christian's a senior for us, his 4th year. He's played in a ton of games. Adam and Tom are juniors. They've played in a ton of games in their first 2 years. And then you've got this group of guys that have been in the program a while but haven't played a lot. Wills Walrap, Colby Nichols, Grant Lom, John Meyer, Peyton Heinen. These guys are guys that are mature in their 3rd or 4th year in college, but haven't had a whole lot of time in league games. And I think that's going to be fun to watch them in their first chance. Like, they're very hungry to get out there and play. And then Ricardo Aarons is kind of our one lone freshman there. They're coming up behind the ranks, and he's had a great fall too. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys fit together.
You brought in a mix of transfers and freshmen. Talk about some of those guys that can make an impact for you this year.
I'm hoping all of them can make an impact. We don't really predetermine anything, but the 3 senior transfers, Kevin Matoyer, our point guard, Rashard Harris, power forward, and Boris Rajovic will be a center for us. I think all 3 of those guys can have an impact. And then their biggest challenge will be just finding their spot, finding their way within our program. They're all talented. They all bring a ton of minutes in college basketball, all in their 4th year. They bring maturity, and I think that I think they can have a huge impact on us. Now, the freshmen, Jaden Bristol, Saxton Thuston, Eric Cruz, and Christian Noski. I think that any combination of those guys, we're not real sure, right? We're still kind of in a decision-making process. It wouldn't shock me if a couple of those guys redshirt, but they've all had great falls, and I think they can have a really big impact, whether it's this year, years to come. We're really happy they're here.
What can fans look forward to seeing from your team this year?
Well, I hope that we try to hang our hat on defense every year. I sure hope we're a good defensive team. I think this team has a chance. We're fast. We're long. I think we can get after people a little bit on the ball better than we have in the past, and that's always where your defense starts, is that on-ball pressure. We're big. I think we can contest at the rim, and I think we're able to get into passing lanes a little bit more. I think we can play a little faster. It's to be determined. It's always kind of a tricky thing. It's very hard to speed a team up, but it's easier to back a team off. So I think we'll try to play a little faster and see how that goes for us, trying to get maybe a few more possessions in a game. I think this team can run a little bit better than we have in the past. And, if we share the ball, we're pretty talented, and I think we're deep. I think we can put pressure on people with depth. So looking forward to seeing how the offense progresses. We'll definitely be a work in progress as we start the season.
conference poll came out on Tuesday. You guys are picked third behind William Penn and MU. Also, the national poll came out. You guys are ranked number 20. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, we're honored. I think that's more of a credit to the guys that have come before than necessarily this team. The guys finished well last year and got to the national tournament, finished second in the league, and even over the course of the last 3 or 4 years, we've had some success. So we're very honored to be picked third in the league, in a very, very good league. I think that this is one of the best leagues in the country, and maybe one of the best years this league has had. I think this league is going to be very tough, looking at what people have added to their rosters. And then nationally, it's always a great honor to be picked in there. But you got it. It doesn't mean anything right now. It's not coach speak. It's real speak. It doesn't mean anything for this team right now. And this group has to be dialed in and fight for everything we get. It's a long season, and to be there is great, but to stay there is probably more important.
You guys get an expanded non-conference schedule this year. Talk about your non-conference schedule.
I think we like what we put together. We've got a good combination of, you're constantly trying to put yourself in a position where the Raiders see that you're playing a competitive non-conference schedule, but at the same time not beat yourself up so bad because you're playing in one of the best leagues. So we added some really quality NAI Division I opponents. We play Harris-Stowe twice. We play Park once. We've got St. Greg's out of Oklahoma, St. Gregory University. And we're taking a trip to Phoenix, Arizona, where we're going to get Rocky Mountain College, which is a perennial national tournament entrant. And then we get Menlo College out of California. We sprinkle in a couple of other teams there, but I think those ones are the ones that are going to challenge us, including John Brown. I don't want to leave them out. They're a very good NAI Division I too. So I think we've bitten off a big chunk. It'll be an interesting ride to start the year in the non-conference, and before you know it, we're playing at Mid-America Nazarene. I think we're 7 games into the season, and all of a sudden it's going to be league. So we're excited to get started. It's been a good preseason, but we're ready to play.
And the reason you get that expanded non-conference schedule is the conference is going to division play this year. What are your thoughts on that?
The divisions it's a 1-year tryout right now. We already know we're going to a double round robin next year. I think the biggest challenge of there's a couple of challenges in divisions. Number one, how do you determine who's going to go to the national tournament? Because we haven't all played each other. And we haven't all played each other home and home. That's, I guess, more important. Our toughest 4 games, or maybe not toughest, but really 4 tough games for us are William Penn, Graceland, Mount Mercy, and Grandview on the road. We don't get a chance to get any of those guys back here in Nolan Gymnasium, where we know it's a great environment to play. That will be a challenge. And I think that, for the decision of who's going to the league, the national tournament, who's going to win the league, and things like that, it'll be. I'm like I said, I've used the word a couple of times. I'm interested to see how it goes. We can't change anything. We're going to take them one at a time. We're going to be excited to play on the road. We're going to be excited to play at home, and we'll get our guys ready, and it should be a great challenge.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much for joining
Thanks,
us.
Dakota.
Benedictine College men's basketball coach Ryan Moody on the BRSN Insider.
A wise man once said, "The world offers you comfort, but you were not made for comfort. You were made for greatness." Discover what you were made for. Benedictine College, where greatness begins.